All right, let's dive into a really fascinating story. We're going to explore a huge decision that pits cutting-edge AI against a field where there is absolutely zero room for error: aviation. And this isn't just about some tech company. No, it's about a fundamental question that could impact the safety of every single one of us who flies.
Think about it. We're in this massive race to automate, well, everything, from customer service all the way to the software that literally guides our planes. And we've hit a really critical point. When an algorithm makes a call that could have life or death consequences, who's left to provide that vital human check?
And that brings us to what seems like a total paradox, right? The very company responsible for software that keeps pilots safe is getting rid of the human experts who guarantee it's reliable, all in the name of automation. To really get what's going on, we need to look at the company at the center of this whole storm.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about the layoffs at ForeFlight. And look, this isn't just some obscure tech firm. For pilots, this company's software is something they use every single day in the cockpit. It's essential.
Just imagine for a second what a pilot needs. You're talking about flawless digital maps, perfect navigation data, totally ironclad flight plans. That's what ForeFlight and Jeppesen do. And when you're miles up in the air, you don't just hope that data is correct. You are literally betting your life on it. It's the definition of a safety-critical system.
What's really shocking here is the speed of it all. So in late 2025, the company gets sold. By early 2026, the new owners are already talking up their big vision for AI and modernization. And then, almost right away, the layoffs begin, and they're targeting the very engineers with years and years of knowledge built up.
Now, the official line from the company leadership was all about progress, you know? They framed it as this necessary step to modernize and scale up. But while the company was talking about innovation, the pilots and the engineers who actually used the software, they heard something else entirely. They heard alarm bells. And the backlash from the aviation world was immediate, and it was specific. This wasn't just about rejecting technology. Not at all. It was all about how it was being done. They were worried about losing irreplaceable human knowledge, creating huge gaps in how data gets validated, and ultimately allowing unchecked errors to slip right into the cockpit.
But here's the thing. What's happening at ForeFlight isn't just happening in a vacuum. In fact, it's part of a really familiar pattern that we're seeing all across the tech industry. And a recent move by another software giant gives us a pretty striking parallel.
To see this exact pattern in action, we just have to look at another tech giant, one that I guarantee you have heard of.
Okay, look at this comparison. The parallel is just wow, it's so clear. In both situations, AI was brought in to automate a core function. You had software development at ForeFlight and customer support over at Salesforce. In both cases, that led to laying off experienced staff. Now, the outcomes were different: safety concerns on one side, unhappy customers on the other, but the underlying playbook is identical.
And the scale at Salesforce was just massive. In 2025, after they rolled out AI agents to handle about half of their support tickets, the company cut around 4,000 jobs from its customer service teams.
So what this shows us is a pattern, and it's one we're seeing over and over. Companies bring in AI to cut costs and make things more efficient, but in doing that, they risk getting rid of the very human expertise you need for oversight, for quality control, and, this is the most important part, for stepping in when the automation gets it wrong. All of this brings us right to the core dilemma, that classic man versus machine battle. But you know, it's not really about good versus bad technology. It's about a fundamental trade-off that we are all trying to figure out right now.
And it's so important to get the nuance here. Nobody is arguing against innovation. The real fear, the one that probably keeps pilots up at night, is that AI will be used not to help human experts, but to totally replace them, which strips away a critical layer of safety.
This one question that came out of the aviation community just cuts right to the heart of it all. Suddenly, it's not some abstract tech debate anymore. It becomes deeply personal. I mean, would you want to trust an algorithm completely unchecked with your safety at 30,000 feet? And here it is. This is the fundamental trade-off. On one side, you have the undeniable promise of automation. It's fast, it's efficient, you can scale it up. But on the other side, you have what only humans, for now, can provide. That good judgment to verify data, the deep-seated knowledge to spot subtle mistakes, and the ability to step in when an algorithm goes off the rails. So what happens now? Well, for the pilots and the airlines who rely on this software every single day, the whole industry has pretty much entered a tense and uncertain period of just watching the horizon.
For right now, everyone is just watching. Pilots, airline operators, they are all monitoring ForeFlight's performance like a hawk. They're looking for any little sign of a drop in quality, in reliability, or in support. It's basically a high-stakes test case, and it's playing out in real time.
And as 2026 rolls on, these are the huge questions on everyone's mind. Can the new, smaller team keep up? Are bugs going to get fixed as quickly? Will pilots start to lose trust in the system? And the big one, are they already looking for a plan B? The answers here are going to shape the future of automation in the cockpit.
You know, at the end of the day, this story is about so much more than just one company or even one industry. It's really a preview of a conversation that all of us are going to be having very, very soon. As automation just keeps accelerating, we have to decide what we truly value. What's the right balance? And what's the right price for human expertise?